Hello viewers, welcome back to our YouTube channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and be a part of our family. The best hidden gems on Netflix right now, Part 1. Your entertainment guide, Moovi. If Netflix stopped producing TV shows today, it would still take more time than anyone reasonably has to catch up on everything that's already premiered. No one has that kind of time, and that's often the reason why Netflix originals tend to get buried if they aren't hits out of the gate. With so many new shows on Netflix arriving monthly, some of them don't even get the chance to break out. That's why we maintain this list of the best hidden gems on Netflix, where you can find the shows that aren't always on everyone's radar. Keep watching for the full lineup of the best hidden gems on Netflix. The tagline for the Vince Staples show notes that its main character is kind of famous and sort of rich thanks to his career as a rapper, which may draw comparisons to FX's Dave. But this particular series is closer in tone to Donald Glover's Atlanta or even the Chris Isaak show from 2 decades ago. You may not have heard of him, but Vince Staples is a real rapper who is playing himself in slightly exaggerated and comedic situations. For the most part, Staples' fame is just large enough to create some awkward interactions with his family, friends, and strangers. He's also stuck somewhere between having a normal life and having people paying too much attention to him.
Y'all know who the fuck this is? Huh? It's magic. I don't want to say with the magic.
You may recall that there was a film adaptation of David Nichols' One Day in 2011 with Anne Hathaway and Jim Sturgis in the leading roles. That movie is more of an abridged version of the novel, while the updated version of One Day extends to a whopping 14 episodes, which is a lot more than Netflix shows tend to get. The series follows Dexter, Leo Woodall, and Emma, Ambika Maud, 2 strangers who meet and almost hook up on their last day in college. Although they don't immediately become lovers, their bond with each other is powerful enough to keep them in each other's orbits for the next 2 decades. From the highs to the lows, Dexter and Emma keep crossing paths as they try to determine what they want, and if they're meant to be together. The title character of The Tourist is a man played by Jamie Dornan who has no idea who he is or why he's in Australia. The audience only initially gets to see the incident that landed the man in the hospital, but without any context as to why someone tried to kill him. Without many leads to go on, the man visits a cafe where he encounters Lucy Miller, Shalom Brune Franklin, a waitress who knows a lot more about the man than she lets on. But she may be one of the only allies that he has. Eventually, the man is going to get his answers, assuming that he doesn't get himself killed in the process. Fans of detective dramas will recognize a lot in Detective Forst, especially the lead character Victor Forst, Boris Scyc. He's just got no time for the rules as laid down by his boss, Chief Inspector Edmund Osaka, Andre Bainias, and Forst takes being thrown off of his latest case as more of a suggestion than an order. As long as there's a serial killer running around, Forst isn't backing down. What separates this show from the pack is the Polish setting and culture, as well as a mystery that isn't immediately obvious. The killer is sending a message, but even Forst needs some help making sense out of the clues that were left behind. Despite the name, the Australian drama Boy Swallows universe is not about some eldritch horror that's gobbling up galaxies. It's about a boy, Eli Bell, Felix Cameron, whose world is coming apart at the seams. Eli's mother, Frankie, Phoebe Tonkin, is hopelessly addicted to drugs and in jail, leaving Eli and his older brother, Gus, Lee Tiger Halley, who struggles with selective mutism, to live with their stepfather, Lyle Orlick, Travis Fimmel. Lyle's no saint himself, as he's dealing drugs out of the misguided idea that it's the only way he can provide for his family. Eli wants a way out for both Lyle and his mother, which leads him to a local crime boss, Bitch, Hi-Halo, who brings Eli into her employ. But the deeper he goes in the criminal underworld, the harder it will be for Eli to get out. Swati Shetty, Konkonasan Sharma, has ambitions of owning her own restaurant in the Indian dark comedy, Killer Soup. And Swati isn't going to let little things like a lack of culinary talent or her recently deceased husband, Prabhu Shetty, Manoj Bajpayee, get in her way. As it happens, Swati's lover, Umesh Bajpayee, looks so much like her late husband that she's able to pass him off as the real thing. However, the shortcuts and crimes that Swati commits along the way always seem to come back to haunt her, and Umesh can only keep up the deception for so long. Eventually, this house of cards is going to fold. The Deep State is a true rarity, even on Netflix. This is a Kuwaiti political thriller that seems destined for an American remake down the line. Bashar al-Shadi and Khalid al-Muthaffar co-star as intelligence officers Bashar and Khalid, neither of whom is sure that they can trust each other. The one thing that Bashar and Khalid have in common is their shared belief that National Security Minister Adnan Faisal al-Ameri is innocent of criminal culpability in a plane crash that claimed the life of a pilot. Proving Adnan's innocence turns out to be dangerous for both Bashar and Khalid. Once they leave the country to get answers, they may find coming home to be much more difficult. During its 7-season run on the CW, The 100 inspired a passionate fanbase, but the series hasn't fully crossed over into the mainstream. The show has a digital afterlife on Netflix, and it's worthy of another chance to bring people into the story. The series is set in the future after Earth has been rendered nearly uninhabitable. With the remnants of humanity now living in orbit on the Ark, the future of the human race is in peril. 100 teenagers, including Clark Griffin, Eliza Taylor, Bellamy Blake, Bob Morley, and Octavia Blake, Marie Avgeropoulos, are expelled from the Ark and forced to determine if it's possible to reclaim the Earth. The group soon discovers that there are other factions of survivors on their homeworld, and there may not be a safe haven for anyone when the Ark itself is threatened with destruction.
Think this is a game? We won't survive here on our own.
There are few sitcoms that can boast a star-studded cast like the ensemble that friends from college put together. 2 decades after their time in Harvard, Ethan, Keegan-Michael Key, and Lisa Turner, Secret Invasion's Kobe Smulders, move to New York City and reconnect with their friends and classmates Samantha Sam Delmonico, Annie Paris, Nick Ames, Nat Faxon, Max Adler, Fred Savage, and Marianne J. Sue Park. However, those bonds of friendship are tested by time and emotional distance as they navigate their own lives and ambitions. Ethan and Lisa's marriage may also be stressed by his recurring affair with Sam, which could have major consequences for all three.
There's 2 things that matter in this world, nipples and butts, and he's got all.
If you remember Sacha Baron Cohen's Ali G and Borat, then you may have a better idea of what to expect from Cunk on Earth. This is a mockumentary produced by the Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker that features Diane Morgan reprising her role as Philomena Cunk, a blithering idiot who interviews real experts on the show. This series has a really dry sense of humor, and much of the comedy comes from Morgan's ability to keep herself from breaking character in the face of some of her incredulous interview subjects. This is a parody of nearly every documentary you've ever seen, which makes it so much fun to watch.